This is the only place that nobody tells you, like, Nitai Hela. Nitai Hela means you too black.
After living in China for 6 years and the fact that majority of my friends were from Ghana, it was always kind of interesting for me to see what will happen or what life choices they would make after moving to Ghana. So in this episode, I spoke with Briano. He's a singer, at the same time he's a petroleum engineer, and he lived in China for 12 years. But I asked him today about life in China and what ideas he had before going to China. And now that he has lived all these years in China and decided to move back to Ghana, what differences he's seeing in Ghana right now and how is he adjusting to Ghana. So here is Briano.
When I was a kid, I wanted to travel. I found this agent and then I went to China.
How did your friends and family react when you told them you're going to China?
My dad was okay. My dad is super open-minded. He just like my buddy. So I spoke to him like, yeah, come on, why not? And then mom was, mom, how they are. We know Ghanaians and our perception about China at that particular time. Mom was not that, but she supported me. I didn't really tell a lot of friends. Ghanaians, when we are traveling, we don't tell people. It's like when you arrive, okay, that you tell people.
What was the idea before you go to China? What was the first impression you had when you got there?
Before I left, my cousin had left to China a month before me. So he was telling me things about China and then how we were having like bad perception, like not like bad perception, like wrong perception about them. I was so much into Chinese movies because I like watching movies a lot. I was imagining things. Initially, we thought Chinese had this hair, fighting this Shaolin and stuff like that, but when we arrived there, it was totally different. It was like light everywhere. Light everywhere, and then, inscriptions in Chinese. My first day when I arrived in Beijing, I wanted to cry. So many people. I left Ghana at the age of 18, okay? So I was very, very, like, it wasn't like now that I'm good looking and stuff like that. I was like very, very smallish. At the airport, like so many people, I didn't know where I was going. So there was someone who was supposed to pick me up, but I think the person missed me or I missed the person, something like that. So I was just looking around for this person. The person was looking for me. Funny enough, we just bumped into each other and then I stopped crying. In the beginning, of course, I didn't know how to speak Chinese, right? I started learning Chinese. The teachers were super fond of me. I started telling them, I want a job. Like, I won't work. Okay, and they were like, hey, you can't speak Chinese. I'm like, so if I'm able to speak Chinese, will I get a job or work? They were like, yeah. I was so involved with intense studying of Chinese, okay. And then in 3 months, I was able to pass the HSK.
What were some of the biggest cultural shocks for you as a Ghanaian?
Cultural shocks. I think the food. I think the first day I arrived, the second day we had a gig. They needed someone to act like a thief. Yeah, in a movie. So me and my, let's say, godfather, he used to be my godfather, Ajingo. I was learning like Taekwondo back in the days when I was a kid. So I knew how to, move, so like that. And they were so interested with me, like, I couldn't speak the language, he could speak the language. So we had finished with the shoot and it was time to eat. It's my second day in China. And they gave us just chopsticks, no spoon. So he told me like, Charlie, use your sour, you're rough. That he like was like, I should use my hands. I shouldn't joke around because I was hungry. So I started using my hand and everybody was looking at me.
So what happened? Why did you decide to come back to Ghana?
During the COVID period, I was in China. I was just in my room alone for 3 months. So I was, I came back because I had enough of China. It's like I just wanted to come back for fresh air. That's one, and then my music, and then family. I've been back for like 5 months.
And how has it been since you're back?
The first month, December, I was everywhere having fun.
Baby girl, wind that thing. Baby girl, me too.
I started having my tour with Delay Man. We had a tour with Shatawale, and then Medical, and then Kofi Kinata, and then the Asaka guys. That's the music aspect, okay? Everything happened so fast at that particular time. But apart from that, a lot has changed. Things are so expensive now. Even leaving your home and going out is expensive. Just going out is expensive. So it's like the weather is hot. See, like everything is hot. People's mind are even hot.
Do you feel any pressure in Ghana now that you're living here?
Yeah, I mean, people are expecting things from you. I mean, this is Ghana. People expect you to do more. We've traveled outside. We expect you to do better, like you to do more. Like, I mean, you have to own things. You know, you have to have your own convenient place, like car and stuff like that. I'm Briano. Nobody can give me pressure.
Will you stay in Ghana for good?
I really wish I can stay here. I'm just being honest. I really wish I could, because this is my home. This is the only place that nobody tells you, like, Nitai Hela. Nitai Hela means you too black. And that's how the Chinese behave. I don't want to leave again, actually, because I feel comfortable here.
And the last question, how was it like being black in China?
So there was one particular time I was in the subway, and then an old woman just came, did this to my skin, and she was like, "Nibu Caesar." Now, Nibu Caesar means you don't take a shower, like you don't bath. So I just stared at her because she's an elderly person, and in Ghana you can't say bad words to an adult, right? So I just let her go like that. And there was one particular time, like I used to sing in the bar, so I closed at night. I needed to wait for the last bar, that's I think 1:30. And then there was one particular time it was snowing, and then the bus arrived. The bus was packed with a lot of people. China, there are so many, right? So I squeezed myself into the bus, but I think my hand was still outside, and then the conductor just closed the bus. So the thing was, hitting my hand like that. I was screaming and shouting, okay? And then they were like, Demala means like, what's up? So he stopped, and then he saw like my hands. I couldn't speak Chinese at that particular time. So it's like my hand was outside. And then people were like, they looked at me, they said, "Oh, here, Meshem." That was so crazy. I was crying at that particular time of my life. Like, if you're dating a Chinese, like a black guy dating a Chinese in China, the way they look at you, and then they also think being black means being poor. Like the typical Chinese, that's what they have in mind. But I mean, we all know like that. Look at me, I'm super rich, yeah?
Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you still haven't subscribed to this channel, please do it right now, because that would be a great help to me. If you think this video would be useful to any friends of yours or anyone you know, please share this video with them, and I will see you next time. Bye.